Well, hello folks. My name is Jeff and I'm just going to do a random talk today. Do you ever worry about money, living from paycheck to paycheck? And this is not a financial advisor video. I'm talking about the struggles in life. You know, when we don't have enough money to make ends meet sometimes, and it can be very worrisome on a person. If you're a dad, a mom, a single mom, or whoever you may be, there's so many of us out in this world today that are struggling to make ends meet sometimes. And with things being higher these days, and food prices and gas prices and all these different things, and we get paid once a month at my house, my wife and myself both, and man, just about every month there's more month left than there is paycheck, raising 4 kids in our 50s. So it can be a struggle. And I just want to say something here, and I hope I can make some sense out of this, but I want to make a statement here, and I want you to think about this, and you put a comment anytime during this video about what you think about this video and anything that sticks out to you, and what you think about working extra hours, and how you feel about that, working overtime and different things. But I want to make a statement first. Have you ever seen a bird sitting on a power line or a tree limb, rubbing its little legs together and rubbing its wings together and worry about where its next worm or its next meal was going to come from? Probably not. Have you ever seen a tree that was worried about the next rain shower that was coming? Probably not. You may see some effects of that tree to where it is withering a little bit, and it may be dying away some because of the lack of the water that it needs, but eventually the rain comes. In Matthew 26 in the Bible, it talks about that the birds do not worry. And God cares about us more than he does the birds of the air. So he's going to take care of us, but we have to do our part. This is where our legs go to our prayers. We can pray about our financial situations. We can pray about our situations in life and not having enough paycheck, you know, to cover everything that we would like to cover in our expenses. And you know, to talk about this, I've got to talk about my own life's experience, and I don't try to make these videos all about me. I try my best to stay away from that, but that's not always easy to do because I have to share just what I know, and I have to be me. But you know, a lot of times we make financial decisions that is not in our best interest. And we become a slave to the lender. And we're having to pay things back. And we can have, you know, a bill due here and a bill due there, and can make things really hard. So sometimes it's our own choices that has put us where we are. But there are times that it is not our own choices that has put us where we are. Sometimes life just happens. If you have kids in your family, if you are a parent that cares about your kids, you want your kids to be able to have things you didn't have or have a better life than you had. You want to provide for your kids. And if you're involved in sports and different things like that, which I am very supportive of that. All my kids were in the band, or now are in the band. I got one that's in college, that's in the band in college, and I got 2 in high school that's in college. Did I say 4 kids a while ago? I have 3 kids. I must be thinking about my dog because I spent $85 at the vet on my dog yesterday, unexpectedly. But we have these things that come up in our lives, you know, just trying to make it throughout the day. I mean, I have a son that just turned 16 years old, and I bought a used truck last week and got a really good deal on that. But now I have another truck payment. Our insurance went up because he's 16, and now I have insurance on another vehicle. And, you know, I thought when my kids were little, when they got out of daycare, you know, I was, one year, my wife and I, we did taxes, and we paid more on daycare than we did on our mortgage. And I was like, my goodness, well, when our kids got out of daycare, we're going to have plenty of money. Well, no, that's not the case. It just changed names. It went to choir fees, it went to band fees, it went to field trips, It went to band trips. It went to college, tuition, college apartment, you know, another vehicle, insurance, all this stuff. So it just changes names. It's basically all it is. And basically it gets more expensive as well. Then you're on top of trying to save for retirement and all these different things, you know. And then you look around and there's not enough money to do what you want to do sometimes. You have to do that sacrifice because of the people you love. You just do that if you're a good moral person and you care about the people in your life. That's just what we do as men and women and as parents and as people. It's just a good, you know, thing to do. And not everybody's that way, but if you made it this far in this video, you probably are. Now here's the deal right here that I want to really share with you. You know, I'm sitting in my wood shop right now and I'm fixing to go to work because I need some extra income. And these legs I'm putting on my prayers right here is I make American flags. I make some signs, smalls, different things like that. And I did this 5 years ago during COVID when we was shut down, and I did pretty good out here. But life has got busy and I haven't been able to get out in this shop as much as I want to. But I need a little extra income, so I'm trying to put some stuff out there on Facebook that I'm doing to make some extra income. My job does not offer me to work any overtime. We get comp time. Well, I don't like trading time for time. I want to trade time for money. And let me tell you, if you're out there and you're a struggling person and you're providing for your family and you're working overtime and you're working hours and it hurts your heart and you feel guilty of being at work and all these times and you're trying to provide for your family, listen, it's okay. Are you hearing what I'm saying? It's okay. You do have to balance that out. The time you spend with your family is highly important, and it's time you can't never get back. And you don't need to work all the time. It's not healthy for you. It's not healthy for anybody in your family. It's just not good. You've got to make time for your family. You've got to make time for yourself. But the times that you set aside and you dedicate to work overtime or a second job, or you got a side hustle that you're doing, whether it's a wood shop, whether it's having a YouTube channel or whatever it may be, it's okay to take some time and try to provide for your family if you need to. Now, I'm not talking about that you go out there and you're just trying to get more stuff just for the sake of having more stuff. Because the more stuff you have, the more money it's going to take care of that stuff. And then if you're having to work all the time to pay for this stuff, you can't enjoy it anyway. It's not pleasurable to you. But I'm talking to us people out there that have to get after it sometimes. I watch my parents sacrifice many times working. My mama is 74 years old. 74. Well, she actually 73. She'll be 74 pretty soon. And she drives a 25-mile drive one way every day. She owns a beauty shop 25 miles away because she moved up here close to me, her dad, 15 years ago. And she drives that every day. She works, I don't know, 10 hours, sometimes 12 hours a day. And has done that all my whole life. My mom used to work 15 hours a day. And she had to because my dad was a construction worker. In wintertime, concrete finisher, construction worker, you didn't have very much money coming in at all. Because rainy days like we're having today in cold weather, can't do concrete if you don't have a job inside. So mom sacrificed for us to be able to have things. My dad took side jobs, done extra work, worked on Saturdays, and used to do a lot of things for us to be able to survive. So don't feel guilty in the times that you have to. Manage that time, and there's times you may have to sacrifice. You know what? I haven't spent the quality time with my family, and if we run a little short, I'm going to make sure that the mortgage is paid, our electricity is on, and we got a car to drive, and there's food on the table. But these other little things, I'm going to have to do something different. I'm going to have to cut the subscriptions off. We're actually just to have our TV service cut off because we don't watch so much TV. It's unnecessary. I'm going to pop an antenna up and we can stream most everything free anyway. So, different ways. Well, I like this stuff. Yeah, I like stuff too, and I like stuff in my life. But there's periods of our life that we go through that we have to sacrifice, but sometimes it's just a period. And if you have to make some changes and make things better for your life, where things will be easier in the long run and in the future, you know, it's temporary sacrifice. Here's what I've learned about temporary sacrifices. When you are reaping the benefits of the sacrifice that you have made, you totally forget about the pain that you went through to get there sometimes, because you're enjoying the moment you're in. And you're glad that you went through that sacrifice, because if you hadn't, you'd still be going through the hard time because you never made the sacrifice in the first place. So, to get back of thinking about that bird on that power line that's not worrying about where that next meal is coming from, that next worm is coming from, to get back to the thought of that, to just think about that bird is sitting there, just, he goes out and he finds what he needs to eat. He's not worried about it. He goes out there and gets it. You say, well, I'm in the midst of what I'm worried about right now and I'm feeling that. Yes, we feel those things. We feel those things as human beings. Our emotions go crazy, our feelings go crazy, and we feel those things, and we can get all wound up and tied up about it. Listen, us as people, the only thing we really know about is what has happened in our past. We don't know what's going to happen in our future. But all we can do is put our trust in God and do what we know to do. Use the skills and abilities you have. If you can make some extra income, some extra money, step out of your comfort zone, step out of that I don't feel like it zone, and get out there and get after it, and allow God to use you and move you in a direction to make things better. We've got to do what we need to do, and it may be for a short period of time. And you may say, well, no matter what I try, every time I get a little extra money, this happens, and it takes it away. Hey, it's a whole lot better to have that little extra money when it does happen than not having it when it happens. Because what are you going to have to do? You're going to have to swipe that credit card again. You're going to have to not pay this and get even further behind and let that phone ring off the hook, and then collection people wanting to get a hold of you, whatever that may be. But do not feel guilty about working those extra hours when you have to, and doing those extra side hustles. You have to sacrifice a few things in the meantime. It's okay. You're going to be all right. I promise. You're going to be all right. Don't fret. Be like that bird. Just go out there and find it. It'll happen. Y'all have a great day. If you like this kind of content, I would appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. That way you'll know when I post new videos, when you get that bell notification. Have a great day.